Hi. So we do have discussion questions in this course, and the discussion questions will be during weeks 1, 2, and 4. So this week, we're going to be looking at the identifying the forces that create the need for change and innovation, and then understanding and defining innovation and change management. So when you look at your discussion question, you're going to see that there are 3 bullets. Each bullet would require its own separate paragraph, and you would need to go through and actually respond to all of the questions and parts within each bullet point. You want to make sure that for the initial discussion response, this particular one is asking you to support your analysis with at least 2 of the weekly materials plus 1 external reference. You need to make sure that you're responding to all of these and everything is being cited and referenced. So you want to make sure that you do both. Now, given that you do need to have 2 of the weekly materials and 1 outside, that means that you should have a minimum of 3 different sources listed in your reference section. And it also would need to be used in text. So you would support your claims by using those statements in text as well. I do want to point out that it's important that you're also comparing the directions with the rubric. So, for example, the rubric is very specific when it talks about the analysis needs to be supported. So, for example, I'm going to look at the rubric and it says you'll get 25 to 30 points under the exemplary section as long as it's well constructed and logical and you have a well supported answer. So when we say it's supported, that means that you actually have cited some information from an outside source. All right. On the rubric, it also looks for using how well you're using your references in the initial discussion question. Because the directions ask you to use 2 of the weekly materials plus 1 external, you can receive an extra 10 points by making sure that you have done that. Then there's a section in the rubric for writing and mechanics, and here we're looking for are you proofreading your work? Are you checking for spelling and grammatical errors? And are you using APA citations both in text and in the reference section? Okay, and then now we're going to go down to replies. On day 7, you must have 2 peer replies already submitted. So it gives you some directions. These are parameters to try to keep the conversation on track. Of course, you can go outside those realms as well, but it's important that you're following the directions. So here the peer responses say you need 2 replies with at least 1 source per reply, and they cannot use the same source. So you'll have to have a separate source for each reply. You need to summarize the article and cite it. So when you're providing a source, it's to an outside article that you will summarize briefly, and then you'll also make sure that you're citing it in text and then providing the link so that your peer would be able to go back and read that article. So each reply has its own section on the rubric, awarding up to 25 points if it is properly done and you have followed the format on the directions. I hope that this information helps as you go through. Should you have any questions about how to respond to the discussion question, make sure that you either text or email me. You can also put the question, if it pertains to everyone in the class, you can go ahead and put that in the discussion form, and I will make sure that I go in and answer that. So it's the very top one, that's the help desk, okay? That's where you would put a question that should be addressed to everyone. All right, take care.